how to realize that you're not on the right path in life. How to realize you're not going in the right direction and you're not doing things that you're meant to do, you're not doing things that resonate with you. In this video, we'll focus on the things that you experience on your road in life when you're not on the right path. This topic is near and dear to my heart for a very specific reason. I've been working in tech in Silicon Valley for the last 6 years. I've been working on PlayStation doing analytics. And actually 2 days ago, I gave my 2-week notice. So yes, I'm leaving my corporate job. I'm officially a corporate dropout because for the last 3 years, I've been feeling so bad. I've been going through a lot of things. And I realized that those things were related to me doing something that I really don't enjoy, focusing on earning the money and not listening to my heart and not listening to all the signs around me that tell me to stop. First one, and it's a very basic one and kind of straightforward. It's getting sick all the time. I was getting sick all the time. Those were not major sicknesses where I was with fever of 105, not able to move. Sometimes, actually, usually, I didn't have any fever at all, but I had random aches in my body, I had a sore throat, I had really insane allergies. And everything kind of was attacking me from all the sides, just like small sicknesses non-stop. And it kind of makes sense from the biological and psychological perspective, because imagine I didn't really like what I was doing, but I was pushing myself to do the things that I don't enjoy. And do them greatly, do them amazingly, and then you have to do the same thing over and over and over again, Monday to Friday, only getting 2 days to rest. And during the weekend, you can't really relax either. You're stressed about doing that all over again, and you can't even rest and restore your energy. You just don't even have that. That's really exhausting, and I know a lot of you are in the same situation. If you're feeling sick all the time, that's how your body responds to constant stress. It means this stress is probably created because you don't want to do what you're doing and you're not at ease with what you're doing. Because if you enjoy what you're doing, you will be at ease, it will be creative energy, it will be inspiration. Of course, you can get tired if you like what you're doing, but you wouldn't feel burnout all the time, you wouldn't feel exhausted, and as a consequence, you wouldn't feel sick all the time. From the spiritual perspective, if you're getting sick all the time, it's your destiny, your higher self, whatever you want to call it, God, tells you that you're not on the right path. It gives you the small hinges like, hey, wake up, look, you're sick, you're probably doing something that you shouldn't be doing. Those are just points for consideration from the spiritual perspective. Something tells you to stop doing what you're doing, because if you're getting sick, it means you will take a break and you will take time to restore. We are getting all the signs that we should stop and rethink what we are doing, take some time to rest, but what we are doing instead, we continue doing the same thing, just saying, well, my immune system sucks, I didn't win the genetic lottery, and I should just continue doing what I'm doing just because, first, I got used to it, and second, I don't think anything will change if I stop it. You've been getting all the signs that what you're doing doesn't work, your body gets sick all the time and you don't pay attention. What happens if you don't pay attention? Your body gives you a bigger signal. So number 2, you get severely sick. For me, it happened straight after COVID. I actually got long COVID symptoms and it was really, really bad. Something with the arteries or the nerves. The doctors didn't find anything. It was the first time I felt severely sick and severely not in control of my body. All these symptoms were coming together during a year and a half. That was a really long period. Now there was this point too, underlying larger sickness that kind of was there all the time. So small sicknesses all the time, and then this one consistently without any breaks. Your body is not just telling you, now it's screaming at you, it's screaming for help, telling you, just stop doing what you're doing, take a break, please, just stop, and really recover, and really consider if you want to be moving in that direction where you're moving right now. Because chances are you will want to stop, because if your body screams at you that much, it means you're doing something wrong. Because guys and girls, our bodies are very smart. They evolved to heal us, to help us cure wounds, to restore us. They're here to ensure our survival, and we're just ignoring them. Now let's talk about psychological signs that you are not on the right path. The first one is when you look at other people and you get annoyed by them doing something. Let's unpack it and think about this behavior a little bit more. The primary red flag here is that you are comparing yourself to other people. And partially it's a natural evolutionary behavior which ensures our survival and our ability to compete within our species. Some sort of comparison is natural, but if you constantly compare your life to someone else's, not to your own advantage, and you get upset that they can do something which you don't allow yourself to do, it's a very huge sign that you're not on the right path. And I was in a constant state of burnout. At the same time, some of my girlfriends were just quitting their jobs and they were just making these decisions like this. And I remember myself getting so upset that they allowed themselves to live like they wanted to. They allowed themselves to quit and take a break. They allowed themselves to look for their passion or do something else. At that point in time, it seemed like, how come they're so lucky? I was blaming them for living their full life, for living their life like they wanted to live, because I wasn't brave enough. I didn't have the courage to live my life like I wanted and to do the changes in my life to be happy and to be balanced. Another psychological sign, and probably the main one, that you are not on the right path is overdoing some of the behaviors. Overeating, shopping too much, over drinking, over partying, doing any behavior beyond the limit of health, beyond the limit of balance, may be a sign you're not happy with your life intrinsically and you're trying to overcompensate. I know a lot of people who need to shop constantly, and some of them are my good friends. What shopping does is that it provides the additional dopamine hit for you. So whenever you get something new, you get excited, you experience this emotion of satisfaction, of excitement. You get this dopamine hit in your head and you're like, oh, I enjoy shopping. It brings me joy, it brings me pleasure, and I'm looking forward until the next time I can shop, right? The reason you need those additional small dopamine hits consistently is because you're not really satisfied with your life as it is. If you would be satisfied with your life journey, if you would be satisfied doing things that you're doing, if you would be satisfied with your job, with your projects that you're receiving, striving for your dreams and achieving your goals, you wouldn't need this additional small dopamine hits because you would get the dopamine release from the things that you're doing on your daily basis. If they would be enjoyable, you already would be satisfied and there wouldn't be a need to overdoing something to compensate. Things like over-shopping is a matter of substitution. You substitute the joy of working on your projects to shopping because it provides you pleasure. It's a justification you get for working more and more and more in the job that you don't like because you get the money to shop and shopping brings you pleasure, right? So that's an indirect way to associate your job with pleasure. But there is a more direct way. Just find what you like doing and start doing it slowly. You don't have to quit your job right now at this exact point in time, but you can realize that shopping is not gonna help you. Overeating is not gonna help you to feel more fulfilled because these behaviors, you have to continue doing them all the time. And they don't create lasting happiness in your life. They don't create lasting joy in your life. Because once you realize this, you will start making the changes in your life necessary to find that lasting happiness, to find that lasting fulfillment, and eventually get on the right path. Let's jump to number 5. If you are not being yourself fully in a setting where you are, whether it's work or projects or people with whom you surround yourself, you're not on the right path. When I worked in tech, I couldn't be fully myself because some of my behaviors and opinions are not really appropriate and not really fitting into the corporate culture. There is nothing criminal about them, but still I didn't feel like disclosing them. I didn't feel like disclosing that I've been to Burning Man and then I went to festival. I didn't feel like disclosing that I've been doing Vipassana and I meditated in silence for 10 days. I was building my own business on the side, but I couldn't share that either because I couldn't let people think that I'm not fully dedicated to my job and I'm doing something else on the side. Ultimately, I couldn't bring my whole self to work. I needed to hide myself. You don't have that mental energy remaining after pretending to be someone else for the entire day. To summarize this point, if you find yourself in different settings, whether this is work or friends group, and you're not being fully yourself, you cannot really bring your whole self and be there in your body without overthinking in your brain how you should behave. It means you're not on the right path. You should take a step back and reconsider where you actually want to be. Subscribe to this channel and I will see you soon in the next video. Have a good day.